Our final game of the day about to be underway here on field number 5. A winner's bracket game for Georgia and North Carolina, as Georgia is the home team, while the state champions of North Carolina will get the first at bat as the visiting team. James Hardy with you, as we appreciate you for joining us on JockJive.com, your home for the DYB, AAA, Ozone, and Majors World Series, which this is the Majors division that you're looking at. And we're going to have a left-handed pitcher take the hill for the Georgia State champions, as it'll be Rocky Pemberton, wearing number 17, taking the mound, as Georgia got their weekend started with a 3-0 victory against Louisiana on Saturday. North Carolina in even more impressive fashion over the host squad, Oxford, 15-0 in 4 innings to set up today's matchup. Now, you're talking a couple of teams that began the tournament here in Oxford on Saturday, so these two teams should certainly have plenty of rest going into a big ball game for both squads. The winner will face the winner of Game 11 over on field number 4 between Mississippi and Alabama. Earlier today, it was Florida all over Arkansas that you just saw in the most recent game here on field number 5, 13-0 the victory for Florida. Louisiana taking care of Oxford in a loser's bracket game, 19-1 in 3 innings. It was Tennessee over Texas, 13-0 in 5 innings to begin the day here on field number 5. That was a 5-inning run rule victory. And then South Carolina over Virginia, 18-4 in 4 innings. So this is the final game on field number 5 today. It's a swing and a miss for Tyler Nee, as he's behind in the count, 0-1. Tyler Nee, Grayson Little, and Matthew Supa, the first 3 batters in the North Carolina order. Pitch on the way. Downstairs from Pemberton, 1-1. Jim Johnson, Charlie Petty, and Carter Edwards, the batters 4 through 6. Ed Englund, Hudson Adams, and Andrew Newmark from 7 through 9. The 1-1 on the outside corner as the count goes to 1-2. And then the 10, 11, and 12 batters, Jake Jeffries, Noah Rogers, and Johnny Joseph. 1-2. Low, 2-2. Umpires for our final game, David Blackwell at home plate. David Lovelace getting an emergency call at first base. Mike Steele at second, and Silas Fontenot at third. Foul ball down the first base line. We were supposed to see Michael Caminita umpire this ball game over at first base, but his mother passed earlier, in fact, a little less than a week ago, so he had to attend the funeral today as a liner left side and through for a base hit for Tyler Nee. So certainly we send our condolences to the Caminita family on the loss of Mr. Caminita's mother, as David Lovelace getting an emergency call over at first base today. But as play gets underway, North Carolina with a leadoff single thanks to Tyler Nee as he's on. Grayson Little, the catcher, batting from the right side. Takes outside for ball 1. Defensively for Georgia, Hewell in left, Presley the center fielder, and Hill in right field. We'll get to the defensive alignment in the infield momentarily. Fastball outside for ball 1. Check that for ball 2. 2-0. Boutin at third, Esposito at short, Monteith at second, and Shepard at first base. Pitch, low and away. Good stop that time by the catcher Pearson as the count goes to 3-0. Both teams with shutout victories to begin play on Saturday. The southpaw Pemberton fires and it gets to the backstop, but it's ball 4 as the runners will advance. On first base will be Little, and Tyler Nee in scoring position at second. Nobody out as we're just underway with our final game of the day on field number 5. And we'll give you a text hotline, by the way, later on in the broadcast. In fact, we'll give you that text hotline number in the top of the second inning, by the way, if you want to give a shout-out to me or bring me any comment that you desire as far as our game is concerned. The number 3 batter, Matthew Supa, who had 2 home runs on Saturday against Oxford up at the plate. 1-0 on Supa, now make it 2-0 as Supa takes high and away on Pemberton's fastball. Nee at second, Little at first. Pitch on the way. Outside 3-0. Not exactly the type of start you want if you're Georgia, as Georgia's the home team. North Carolina already with 2 runners on. Nobody out as we're just underway. Pitch from Pemberton. Low and in for ball 4. 8 straight pitches have missed the strike zone for Pemberton. As Nee to third, Little to second, and Supa to first base, as we're going to have a coaching visit for Georgia. Kurt Longshore, the head coach for the Georgia State champions. He's assisted by Glenn Jackson.
Has worked. That's the one that didn't work, but now it's
along.
If it just rang up here, that means the coach unlatched it. The coach won. He hit the wrong button.
So now the bases will be loaded as it brings up the cleanup batter, Jim Johnson, who's one of the extra batters coming up.
They could hear me, but I couldn't hear them.
You, but we couldn't hear us. Yes, sir. We put tape over the button and we've explained don't hit the button, but they still keep doing it. What, is it working now? Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So 2 walks and a single for Tyler Nee. And once again, since really the last hit, because it is considered a strike in the stat book for Nee, as far as that single, 8 straight pitches have missed the strike zone until then, as Jim Johnson swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. This is the second day, really, for Majors action, as the second day was supposed to be yesterday, but it was washed out. Here comes the 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. Charlie Petty is on deck. We're just underway. In fact, both of our previous games here on field number 5 have been 13-0 finals, as the pitch downstairs lands right in front of the catcher, Pearson, as he's able to block it. 2-1 now the count. Nowhere to put Jim Johnson as he bats from the right side against the lefty pitching Pemberton. 2-1. Tapped foul back our way. 2-2. Opportunity for North Carolina to get things rolling. Still with nobody out to get the first runs on the board, even without getting the first out. 2-2 the count is Pemberton with the pitch. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit as Nee scores. Little will get the stop sign at third as the throw comes in from the outfield, as North Carolina takes a 1-0 lead. So Little to third, Supa to second, and Jim Johnson on with an RBI single up the middle. So the bases will remain loaded as North Carolina now has 2 hits on the day, and we're going to have a coaching visit, and that's going to be all for the starting pitcher, Pemberton. Rocky Pemberton will get an exit on this second coaching visit of the inning from Kurt Longshore.
Maybe number 7 or maybe number 17.
In fact, we will get a new pitcher, and we're going to take this first timeout. We're going to take the timeout and have a new pitcher after this.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home, awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over the Royal team. Leads the man at third.
Rocky Pemberton has a rough outing as he faces 5 batters, check that, 4 batters without recording an out. As the bases are loaded, as coming on in for Georgia, the second pitcher of the inning, coming in from third base, Trevor Booten, as Booten and Pemberton will just do a position swap along the infield. James Hardy with you. Still early on as check that, believe we may have a different third baseman. No, check that. No, that's right. Rocky Pemberton will go over to third base now defensively. As Booten fires his first pitch, a bouncer to Pemberton, steps on third for 1 to throw home. That should be, in fact, is a run scored as the run has come across, but with the Pemberton stepping on third and throwing home, that took away the force out at home. And so heads-up officiating at home plate, by the way, by David Blackwell, our home plate umpire. So that will actually go down as an RBI fielder's choice, 5 unassisted. An RBI for Petty. 2-0 now, North Carolina with the lead as Supa retired for the first out of the inning. Johnson to second, and Little coming home to score. So now runners at first and second as the pitch is grounded left side once again for Pemberton as he'll make the throw in time to first base. 2 away. I mean, that's something you learn. Also a learning opportunity. Really for both of the teams out on the field as well. That's just kind of a reminder as far as the rules are concerned that it was, in fact, it was actually a pretty good play there a couple of batters ago for Pemberton stepping on the bag to get 1, but the catcher Pearson just forgot to make the tag. As Georgia gets out of the inning, but North Carolina does get a couple of runs to score. 2 runs, a couple of hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We're through a half inning of play. North Carolina 2. And Georgia coming to bat.
Trevor.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home, awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over the Royal team. Leads the man at third. At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home, awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over the Royal team. Leads the man at third.
Two to nothing, North Carolina with the lead. James Hardy with you as we go to the bottom of the first inning, doing a little scorekeeping housekeeping on the scorecard. Georgia will send up this starting lineup, by the way, offensively. Preston Presley. I'll have a good time trying to get that name pronounced just right. Preston Presley leading off in center field. Dallas Pearson, the catcher, batting second. And Colton Esposito at shortstop, batting third. Trevor Booten, now at pitcher, will bat cleanup. Stephen Hill, the right fielder, batting fifth. Blake Shepard, the first baseman, sixth. Bryson Monteith at second, batting seventh. Avery Hewell, the left fielder, eighth. Rocky Pemberton, now at third base, batting ninth. And then the extra players, Jimmy Jackson, 10th. Grayson Cockrell, 11th. And Lane Christie, batting 12th. So in a way, North Carolina could have gotten more than 2 runs. That they had the bases loaded, remember, with nobody out. And actually not a bad job of Georgia, especially from Booten coming onto the mound, of limiting the damage to just 2 runs. As Presley steps in, swings, and hits a pop-up caught behind the second base bag by Knee for out number 1. Yes, somebody out there go ahead and put the over-under number on how many times I mess up on Preston Presley throughout this broadcast. As coming up, Dallas Pearson, the catcher, batting from the right side. Takes low for ball. Check that, strike one. Another delayed strike call, but a strike call nonetheless. We'll go over the North Carolina defense in a moment. Anglin, the starting pitcher for North Carolina, already with an out, and now even in the count on Pearson, 1-1. Joseph, Rogers, and Adams from left field to right field, your outfield alignment, the 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1. Along the infield, Edwards at third, Knee the shortstop, Newmark at second, and Supa at first base. Little behind home plate, the 2-1. Swing and a miss, handcuffed Pearson that time, 2-2. Pitch is swung on and missed at a pitch low and outside for strike 3. So Pearson goes down swinging 2 away. As Colton Esposito, the shortstop, gets his first at bat. This is a winner's bracket game. The winner will face the winner of Mississippi and Alabama tomorrow, as the pitch swung on and fouled off on the curveball for Esposito. Anglin with his second appearance from the mound during the tournament. The 0-1. Fouled our way, 0-2. James Hardy with you, bringing you DYB Majors World Series action from field number 5. Got Marty over on field number 4 calling Alabama and Mississippi the final game on field number 4 today. Only winner's bracket game, by the way, on field 4 as well. Slow dribbler, that's going to stay fair, and there's your swinging bunt single for Esposito. Couldn't have placed that any better for Colton Esposito, as he's able to get the first base runner on for Georgia with a 2-out swinging bunt single. And that'll allow the cleanup batter, Trevor Booten, to get his first at bat and to keep the inning going as well. Stretch and the pitch from Anglin. Curveball right down the middle, but high for ball 1. One 1-0 the count, and the pitch on the way is downstairs, 2-0. Bottom of the first inning, our third game on field number 5 today. Stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball right down the middle. 2-1. We'll put up that text hotline number at the beginning of the second inning. 2-1 on the way. Grounded up the middle right at the shortstop knee. He'll go to first base as the throw is high, but the good wingspan by Supa corrals that baseball and will end the inning for Georgia offensively. So Georgia gets a base runner on with 2 outs, but cannot get a run across. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We're through 1 inning of play. North Carolina 2 and Georgia nothing as you are watching DYB Majors World Series on JockJive.com.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home, awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third. At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home, awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
We'll go to the top of the second inning. On the top left-hand side of your screen, you've got our text hotline number if you want to give a shout-out to a favorite player of yours or have anything else you want to say. James Hardy with you as Hudson Adams will lead off for the North Carolina State champions. Also Andrew Newmark and Jake Jeffries scheduled to come to the plate this inning. First pitch from Booten downstairs for ball 1. An RBI single for Jim Johnson and Charlie Petty's RBI fielder's choice, the only run so far in this ball game. Still early on in this 6-inning affair, but North Carolina certainly, at least early on, with a good start coming out of the gate. So we'll try and find out Jimmy Jackson defensively for Georgia coming in as a foul ball back our way. I believe Jimmy Jackson actually coming in to, in fact, does come into center field. As the count now at 0-2, and once again, have to remind y'all out there, I know some of y'all have been trying to call me during the game, and if you do, you're not going to be successful, but certainly appreciate your comments. So in our text hotline is a swing and a miss for strike 3 for Hudson Adams as he'll go down on strikes. 1 away here in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Andrew Newmark, the second baseman, batting from the right side. Check that 2 away as the pitch high. So check that Newmark goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Jake Jeffries, who's ahead in the count 1-0. Swing and a miss at a high fastball evens the count at 1-1. Pitch from Booten. High fly ball, playable in right center field coming in. And does he? Yes, he does make the diving catch. Does the center fielder coming in, Jimmy Jackson, who makes a nice grab to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Georgia as Booten sets North Carolina down in order. So we're through 1.5 innings of play. Still North Carolina 2 and Georgia.
At the 36-yard line. Jarman's home, awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third. At the 36-yard line. Jarman's home, awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. A quick top of the second inning for North Carolina as they're set down in order. James Hardy with you, and just a recap of that second inning. Got a pop-up for Adams to second, then the strikeout at Newmark, and the fly ball to center field with Jackson coming in defensively as one of the necessary defensive additions for Georgia, making the grab to end the second inning. And that'll set up the bottom of the second inning offensively as Stephen Hill in right field. Starting right fielder will lead things off in the bottom of the second inning along with Blake Shepard and Bryson Monteith. As we'll have a pop-up to the right side, and already as we're just getting things going, 2 outs now as Shepard will pop up into foul territory over to the first baseman Supa. So quickly 2 outs there. Won't even have to make any changes to the scorecard there as far as your scoreboard is. 2 outs with nobody on base and a swing and a miss for Monteith. Strike one is the call. So we'll have to do a little more homework here during the break as well. Thankfully got a really, really good 5-star scorekeeper to my right. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 0-2. So I don't know how much time you had out there on JockJive.com to whether take a bathroom break or go to your refrigerator, but we're almost done with this half inning. The 0-2. Grounded just foul down the third base line. So you may want to take whatever device you're watching with this with you. Also, by the way, our first text coming in. Rain delays won't stop Queen City. Go Sharks from the 704 area code. The 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and well, there you go. 1, 2, 3 for Georgia offensively here in the second inning as Hill, Shepard, and Monteith go down in order. So we're through 2 innings of play. It's still North Carolina 2 and Georgia nothing as we go to the top of the third on JockJive.com.
At the 36-yard line. Jarman's home, awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Less than 10 pitches in the bottom of the second inning to really help complete that second inning as we're through 2. 2-0, North Carolina with the lead, looking for their second, both teams really, looking for their second win of the week. James Hardy with you. Stephen Hill and Blake Shepard, by the way. You could have done basically a groundhog sequence there as both popped up to the first baseman on 2 pitches combined to begin the inning. And then Bryson Monteith struck out and went down swinging. Noah Rogers will lead off at the number 11 spot here in the third innings. He'll swing and hits it far deep into left field, And let's see, that is caught in left field. Once again, my vision blinded by the protective awning for the fans down the third base line, but was able to detect that fly ball to left field. One away on the first pitch of the inning as well. Number 12 batter Johnny Joseph to the plate as he'll take a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. To 0-1. Just a little bit low. Well, I'll tell you, somebody asked, and it's okay. I'll answer this in just a moment here as far as how you missed two plays in the inning. The 1-1 is low and away. Now I'm the producer as well as taking your text and doing the play-by-play. And so when you got the pace going, lickety-split, hey, some things can fall through the cracks. Just explaining that to you, my friend out there at the 704 area code. It's the count now at 3-1. The pitch on the way is bounced high but in front of the pitcher as he'll throw over to first, Will Booton, and makes the out, the 1-3 put out, 2 away. As I haven't made a check of the radar as well, as thankfully we've been able to get two of our games in here on field number 5 without a drop of rain falling so far today, as it's been cloudy all day here in Oxford, as we're back to the top of the order for Tyler Nee, who takes a strike call. We had a couple of gully washers yesterday that postponed all of the games that we had in the Majors division, both on field number 4 and field number 5, as the count goes to 1-1. And by the way, there is rain also to the west and a little bit to the south of us as well. So also to my man from 704, they're trying to get this game in as soon as they can. The 2-1 around the knees, but a little bit low, 3-1. The pitch on the way. Strike call, a late strike call, but a strike nonetheless, 3-2. So you're not going to see a lot of delay here as far as the play is concerned. The time between pitches is a foul ball back our way. You're not going to see a lot of wasted time pretty much from here on out. They want to get this game in. The 3-2 hit into center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Presley back into the game, by the way, the center fielder, the starting center fielder for the Georgia State champions. They'll keep the inning going as Tyler Nee 2 for 2 now with 2 singles. 3 hits total for North Carolina brings up Grayson Little, who walked on 4 pitches his last time up. Bouncer to the left side. Smothered and stepping on the bag and getting the out is Esposito, the shortstop, as he'll get the 6th unassisted fielder's choice to retire the side. So bottom of the third inning we go. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base for North Carolina. Through 2.5, North Carolina still leading 2-0 on JockJive.com.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third. At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
We go to the bottom of the third inning. Time to flip our lineup card over, as Georgia still trying to make their way down toward the bottom of the orders. They'll have the 8, 9, and 10 batters due up. Hewell, Pemberton, and Jackson due up. Also, Cockrell and Christie on the horizon as far as their turns in the batting order. James Hardy with you. We've got our text hotline number, by the way, up at the top left-hand corner of the screen if you want to give us your shout-out for a favorite player that you'd like to send a greeting to. Or anything else that you'd like to throw by me. I'll be certainly will try my best and read that on our broadcast. Bunt to the right side, fielded, and the toss to first base in time as Hewell retired. Anglin coming off of his pitcher's mound and making a very, very solid play. So 1-3 on the putout. One away for Rocky Pemberton, who is the starting pitcher in the first inning for Georgia. He'll swing and miss at the first pitch for strike one. Lefty on righty battle here is the wind and the pitch. Low and away, 1-1. Lights have been on here on field number 5 for pretty much most of the afternoon as we played under cloudy skies throughout the day. Swing and a miss at the 1-1, 1-2. And once again, just to let you know out there, we're trying as far as the pace of play right now to get this game in with rain closer to Birmingham, about an hour's drive west of here, as the two-strike pitch is outside 2-2, and I'll also try to get to your text as well when time permits. One away, nobody on base, two-strike pitch, bounced right in front of home plate. They'll say a foul ball. Foul ball as counts at 2-2. Actually did hit Pemberton before he left the batter's box. Got a little time to get this shout-out in. Want to give a shout-out to my nephew Grayson Little from Big B and Aunt Nancy. Let's go G from the 704 area code. 2-2. Way outside 3-2. Ever since, in fact, only one base runner has reached for Georgia today. 2-out single from Esposito, but since then, 5 straight have been retired by Ed Anglin. Full count pitch on the way. That is low for ball 4. First walk of the game for Anglin as Pemberton, the number 9 batter, reaches base. Brings up Jimmy Jackson, one of the reserve players that's already gotten some playing time defensively. Will get his first at bat. Also, Grayson Cockrell will come on up to the plate on deck. And the next batter up is the fastball upstairs, 1-0. So Georgia has not quite met their offensive requirements yet. 2-0 now on Jimmy Jackson as he'll take as Anglin misses outside of the strike zone. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third inning trying to get this game in, and I think we'll be able to do so at this pace. The 2-0. Downstairs, 3-0. But as far as the players on the field, you still have to concentrate on the task at hand, and that's getting the outs, getting on base, whatever you have to do on offense or defense. The 3-0, fastball in there for strike one. Pemberton over at first base. The 3-1, downstairs for ball 4. So Georgia has something going now with back-to-back one-out walks as Pemberton to second base, Jackson to first base on the one-out walk. Cockrell will step on up to the plate as we have an a Majors final. 6-0 Mississippi with the win over Alabama, as we'll have a pitching conference for North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
John Jeffries, the head coach, a meeting with his entire infield. So Mississippi with a 6-0 victory in 6 innings, as Mississippi will face the winner of our game between Georgia and North Carolina. And that means for Alabama, they will face Louisiana tomorrow in a loser's bracket game. We have a new pitcher, by the way, from North Carolina. Let's take the time out, and we'll give you that new pitcher after this.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home,
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Tyler Nee, the relief pitcher for North Carolina, will come on in relief as Ed Anglin gets into the third inning. In fact, gets an out in the third inning before allowing back-to-back walks. As Georgia now has the tying run on at first base in a 2-0 lead for North Carolina. We appreciate you for joining us on JockJive.com. Don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We are trying to reach 10,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers this summer and need your help to get there. And when you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game statuses, and so much more. So go to JockJive.com and follow the shortcut to all the social media outlets, or simply put JockJive Sports in the search engine of Facebook or at JockJive on Twitter. Plus subscribe to our YouTube channel. So Cockrell coming up to the plate, the number 11 batter in the order, as he'll take strike one on the first pitch. Pemberton at second. Jackson over at first base. Lane Christie is on deck as a pop-up left side of the infield caught by the shortstop. That time for North Carolina, as it's Supa moving over to shortstop from first base. And Charlie Petty over at first base now, as there's 2 outs and a swing and a foul tip for the number 12 batter in the order, Christie, who's behind in the count 0-1. Wind in the pitch as a tapper back to Nee, as he'll toss over to first base in time. And that'll do it for Georgia, as they get 2 runners on but cannot get a run to come home. So in the third inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base as we're through 3. We're halfway home. Your score still North Carolina leading 2-0 as you're watching DYB Majors World Series on JockJive.
at the 36-yard line. Jarvis home,
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
at the 36-yard line. Jarvis home,
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Temperature at 83 degrees here in Oxford on a Monday afternoon. James Hardy with you as North Carolina begins things with Matthew Supa at the plate in the top of the fourth inning as we're rolling on along as a strike call. 0-1 the count on Supa, who moved over to shortstop in the last half inning. Pitch on the way is hit into right center field, going over and making the catch. Yes, over in right center field is Hill for out number one. We've seen some great defensive plays in this ball game by Georgia, and that last one, in my mind, the best defensive play I've seen all weekend. All about timing, and that was great timing on that diving effort for out number one as a line drive into right center field all the way to the wall for Jim Johnson as he'll stop into second with a double. So Johnson with an RBI single drove home the first run in the first inning, and now in scoring position with a one-out double, and we're in the top of the fourth inning. 2-0 for North Carolina as they have the lead for Charlie Petty, who came in earlier in the ball game defensively at first base. In fact, according to at least my scoring, North Carolina at the very worst only needs one more player to get in defensively to meet those requirements as well. Charlie Petty swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Boutin still out on the mound as he winds and fires. Downstairs, that's going to get away, but not far enough for Johnson to advance. 1-1. In fact, we are the final game of the day, at least in this portion of the ball yard. Field 4 action has concluded for the day, with Mississippi shutting out Alabama in winners bracket play. Foul ball to the right side, and also Ozone and AAA action in the books for the day. So this is the final game here at Chocoloco Park for any of the three divisions. And we'll go over some scores here in a moment. Grounder through the left side for a base hit on the 2-2. Getting the green light around third will be Johnson. Throw won't be made home as coming home to score Johnson into second Petty. 3-0, North Carolina now with the lead. So an RBI for Petty. We'll give that a double for Petty as well. So back-to-back hits, 5 hits now for North Carolina as a swing and a miss on the inner half of the plate for Carter Edwards, who has grounded out to third today, and it's only at bat. Still, most of the rain is off about an hour to the west of this, toward the Leeds, toward the eastern portion of the Birmingham metro area. So I think we're going to be able to get this game in without any problems. As the 1-1. Low, 2-1. So, the fields practically flooded yesterday after the pair of gully washers that we had Sunday afternoon. Also got to give a big thanks to some of my partners here at JockJive.com. Mike Rideout being one for getting some post-game food for me, at least what will turn out into some post-game food. A ground ball to the right side as Edwards thrown out at second base on the 4-3 put out as Monteith with the assist on the infield. 2 away. Productive out, however, as Petty advances to third.
Yes, sir.
Ed Anglin will have a chance to get his first hit of the game as he's 0 for 1. Anglin, the starting pitcher, also grounded out to the shortstop to end the first inning. Boutin looking to limit the damage here in the fourth inning. We're past the halfway point in this 6-inning affair. North Carolina scored 2 in the first inning, scoreless in the second and the third, and put a single run so far. Here at the top of the fourth inning, Georgia has struggled offensively so far,
Georgia has 39.
as they have left 3 on base, only have 1 hit on the ball game. And we're going to have time called as the entire infield is going to huddle around the mound, and we're going to have a coaching visit from Georgia's Kurt Longshore, the head coach. Already seen 2 pitchers on the day for Georgia, and it appears as if we may have another pitcher, and we will. So let's go ahead and step aside, and we'll get you that new pitcher after this timeout.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall.
Awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Preston Presley will be assigned with getting the final out at this top of the fourth inning as he comes in as the third pitcher of the game for Georgia. James Hardy with you. We'll take your texts, your shout-outs, or whatever else you want to say at our JockJive.com/DYB text hotline for field number 5. Three to nothing, North Carolina with the lead as Ed Anglin will get his second at bat, batting from the right side against the right-handed pitching Presley. Grounder foul just wide of the bag at third. Third game here on field number 5. Scheduled for 2 games tomorrow on field number 4 and field number 5. Right now, Florida scheduled to have the day off tomorrow. At least according to the bracket. If there's any sort of changes, just also consult the DYBWS smartphone app, as it'll have scores and news and other updates for you, as well as our JockJive Facebook page as well. Foul ball back our way for Anglin, 0-2. Wind in the pitch. Curveball, a beauty for called strike 3. That'll do it as Anglin goes down on 3 pitches. So Presley does his job and limits the damage as North Carolina does get a run across. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left at third base. So we're through 3.5 innings of play. Headed to the bottom of the 4th inning with your score, North Carolina 3 and Georgia nothing.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall.
Awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall.
Awfully close. Campbell wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Georgia trailing 3-0 to North Carolina. James Hardy with you as we go to the top of the order as Georgia has fulfilled, in fact, both teams have fulfilled their offensive requirements for the game. Preston Presley leading off this inning as the number 1 batter. He'll chop one back to the pitcher as the toss over from knee in time to first base. 1 pitch, 1 out. You can leave us a text on the text hotline at the top left-hand portion of the screen. This is number 2 batter Dallas Pearson batting from the right side. Pitch on the way. Almost, I'm not sure how he was able to get out of the way of that pitch as it just misses hitting him in the right-handed batter's box. 1-0. We'll have time called as our home plate umpire coming out. Home plate umpire for this game, David Blackwell, will. In fact, all 4 of the umpires will come out and have a meeting in the infield. It's probably what they are. In fact, what our national director, Sam Rudd's telling me right next. In fact, a former umpire today, for those of you that watched our previous game, veteran umpire for the DYB, actually almost what you see with the NFL on Fox with Mike Pereira, that's their NFL officiating observer, basically. Sam's my umpiring observer for me today. Yeah, a broadcaster needs one of those wherever you go. At least when I was doing play-by-play 2 seasons down at West Alabama when Malcolm Butler at the Patriots was down there, I could have used an extra person in the booth with me just for that as well. 1-0 the count. And the pitch. Check that. That's why you need the extra man up here too, as they did. I guess they did say it was a hit by pitch for Pearson. So Esposito will get his second at bat. As Pearson's on at first, Esposito with 1 out, 1-1 the count. Pitch on the way on the outside corner, 1-2. Wind and the pitch on the way. Drops just low, 2-2. I'll tell you what, at least one of the most challenging things as a broadcaster that I've done is the 2-2. Is grounded, the left side could be 2, steps on short, does the shortstop for 1 at second, and then the throw to first. Double play for the 6-3 double play. So a hit by pitch for Pearson, but that's erased on Esposito's 6-3 double play. So Nee works through the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we're through 4. North Carolina maintains their 3-0 lead on JockJive.com.
At the 36-yard line. Jarmus home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
At the 36-yard line. Jarmus home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
We go to the top of the 5th inning as we're rolling on along our final game of the day here at the ballpark. James Hardy with you. As we've seen 3 pitchers go at it for Georgia. A 3-0 lead for North Carolina. As Preston Presley will return to the rubber. And he'll face the 8, 9, and 1 batters as Hudson Adams will lead off and bat from the right side. Swings and hits a bouncer on 1 hop to third. The throw over to first base in time as Pemberton makes the throw to first. 1 away. There's certainly been some urgency as far as just the pace of play in this ball game. We've mentioned a couple of times that there is some rain off to the west toward the eastern portions of the Birmingham metro area, about 45 minutes away from here. But I think we're going to be able to complete this game before the rain comes in. Newmark at the plate as he'll take inside for ball one. Presley studying and gets the sign and delivers. Upstairs, 2-0. In fact, we had Sunday's games across the ballpark washed out as the wind and the pitch. Low and away, 3-0. I'll get to our most recent text from you out there in the JockJive.com audience here in a moment. The 3-0, curveball, strike, 3-1 the count. 704 area code, shout out to North Carolina. Woohoo, keep working Sharks. Pop up into shallow right, that drops down for the base hit. So Newmark with his first single. You have this G-Man from your mom who hates that I am missing this, but watching every minute. You're making me a little sad there back in the 704 area code, but certainly appreciate you watching us, and certainly learned a long time ago that you want to keep the mamas happy when it comes to the play-by-play broadcaster and talking about their sons and their daughters when it comes to baseball, or in my case during the spring, Sanford softball. Something you don't want to get in the doghouse with is the mama. The 0-1 is swung on and missed. 0-2 is Tyler Nee at the plate. And I tell you, I learned that talking to you and talking to Sam to my right, learned that a long time ago. A foul ball back our way. I don't care if you're talking Little League or you're talking Division I NCAA athletics. The mamas and the daddies are the ones that you definitely want to be sure you make happiest the most. 1-2. Grounded up the middle, could be 2 as the flip to second for 1, and that'll be all. Not so sure Esposito, if he had just gone to the bag himself, might have had a better opportunity to go with the double play there. But they do get the lead runner in any case, as that'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. That retires Newmark on the base paths. So let's put that second out on your scoreboard there as a line drive will go foul down the right field line. We've seen a couple of double plays today in a couple of our other games, and at least when you're talking the majors division, you're probably going to have to get one of those 6-3 type of double plays if you're going to get a ground ball double play in one of these type of games. Pitch on the way, curveball upstairs, 1-1. I was going to mention something challenging from a broadcaster perspective as well. Regardless of the sport, as the pitch is low and away, as far as having my buddy Sam right behind me as far as a second pair of eyes. I've done plenty of football games without a spotter in the booth, high school and West Alabama football. As a pop-up into center field, actually hit fairly well, as going back will be Jackson to make the catch, as that'll do it for North Carolina, top the 5th inning on the fly out to center field, as that'll do it for North Carolina's offense. They do get a base runner on a single, but can't get a run across. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 3-0 North Carolina leading as you're watching the DYB Majors World Series on JockJive.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
36-yard line. Jarvis Hall
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Georgia comes to bat as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Middle of the order, Booten, Hill, and Shepard due up for Georgia. James Hardy with you at 617 area code checking in. Hey, Justin and Greg in Charlotte. Glad you figured out how to watch the game on JockJive from Homer in the Kentucky woods. I think that's the first one, as I know I had certainly some, at least on my mom's side of the family, a lot of relatives and my grandparents that would routinely kind of in self-effacing fashion, especially from my grandparents' side, refer to themselves as the Wood folks. The Woods folks from down in Sumter County. Every time I'd go make a visit to the grandparents during the summer or during one of the primary holidays in the calendar. In fact, West Alabama, one of those type of places as far as in Livingston, in one of the more rural areas as far as the state of Alabama is concerned about. We're talking about at least a 3.5 hour drive west on I-20 from here. We're back to action as Trevor Booten to the plate. Takes outside for ball one. Bottom of the fifth inning. Georgia looking to get on the board as the pitch on the way from knee is swung on and missed as that off-speed pitch has the bottom drop out of it. So I joked around with some of our other colleagues from JockJive as well, as far as some of them going to Cleveland, Mississippi for one of the prior DYB tournaments within the last couple of weeks as the swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Cleveland, Mississippi, somewhere I'm familiar with in my past, as a liner up the middle, and not sure how knee got out of the way of that screamer up the middle as the leadoff batter on base is Booten at first with a leadoff single. And also, folks, that is the second hit of the game for Georgia. Just the second hit, as Colton Esposito's 2-out single was the first, and prior to that last hit, the only hit for Georgia. Now, they've had a couple of base runners reach on a couple of walks, as we'll have time called for North Carolina to have a coaching visit. John Jeffries, the head coach for North Carolina, will want to have a discussion with his entire infield. I'll tell you, Cleveland, Mississippi is somewhere that I've made plenty of 3.5-hour drives from Tuscaloosa on a Thursday night or on a Saturday afternoon. I've certainly made more than two, I think even more than, actually I know more than 3 trips over there. In fact, I've even made 3 trips over there from Tuscaloosa in a year before, within a 12-month time span. In fact, speaking of college football, coming up in August on JockJive.com, we're going to have some SWAC football for you, as well as soccer and volleyball from the SWAC. Plenty of high school football coverage, great American rivalries, Georgia military college football, as the pitch is downstairs to Stephen Hill, 1-0. Also Navarre football as far as high school football along the Emerald Coast of Florida, and a lot more, as well as the ACCC Game of the Week. And there's a litany of reasons for you to come back to us on JockJive.com for other coverage of football and whatever else you can think of as far as the various levels of sports. 1-0 on Stephen Hill. Bottom of the fifth inning. Grounder just wide at the first base bag foul, and that could have been some trouble for North Carolina, but it goes just to the right of the first base bag. 1-1. Pitch. Foul back to the screen, 1-2. And I can think of as far as some of my football excursions in the past and some of the very highest reaches of college press boxes where I could have used a spotter or certainly a football officiating observer as a foul ball back our way. I don't think I have this particular picture on my phone with me now, but I'll have to tell you, Sam, during the break, as a swing and a miss, strike 3, as moving up to second on the wild pitch will be Booten. 1 away. So that's a win really for North Carolina, as they're just 5 outs away from securing a W as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Booten to second for Blake Shepard. He'll swing and miss it. So a swing and miss for strike 1, 0-1. 1 out, 3-0 North Carolina with the advantage. Swing and a tapper foul back to the brick backstop, 0-2. 2 runs for North Carolina in the first inning, an RBI single for Johnson and an RBI fielder's choice to third for Petty. Also an RBI double for Petty, but not much has happened outside of those few scoring plays. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Shepard as he makes a quick appearance at the plate. 2 away. Runner still at second for Bryson Monteith, who also has been a strikeout victim of North Carolina pitching. His knee looking to put a goose egg in this inning as a fly ball foul to the right side. 7-8-1. Hello, Emma. Go North Carolina from your friend Will Daly. Owen 1 on Monteith. And the pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Avery Hewell on deck. Pitch from knee. Just misses on the outside corner. 1-2. Need delivers. Swing and a miss at a curveball. Strike 3 as Knee strikes out the side despite giving up a leadoff single. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. So we're through 5. Your score still North Carolina 3 and Georgia nothing.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
We're through 5, top of the 6th inning, as North Carolina looking to add to their advantage. 3, 4, and 5 batters, Supa, Johnson, and Petty will stroll on up this inning for the North Carolina State champions. It may come as a surprise to you how affordable it is to have JockJive Sports provide coverage of your sporting event or sports team with quality streaming, offering a national and international platform to show off your school or sport. Line drive, that is a fair ball down the left field line, is rounding first Supa, and he'll stroll on into second with the leadoff double. So a hard hit ball for Supa as he swings at the first pitch of the inning from Presley and ropes it down the left field line. Jim Johnson, 2 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and also an RBI single in the first. Takes a curveball inside for ball 1. Even 1 run for North Carolina with the help their cause as far as just adding to their 3-run cushion. Pitch. Downstairs, 2-0. 2-0 the count. I'll tell you more about JockJive's offerings here in just a moment. Pop up to the right side, 2-1. As the foul ball gets out of play. We produce everything from youth sports, the NCAA Division I level, literally from every part of this country, large productions or small, tiny venues or huge. 2-1 downstairs, 3-1. We can and have done them all. To put JockJive Sports to work for you, email us at info@jockjive.com. The 3-1 fouled back my way. Count goes full now at 3-2. Charlie Petty on deck. All 3 of the runs scored, and all three of the runs driven in for North Carolina have come in the middle of the order. High pop up that will just get foul into the first base stands. Go ahead and take a peek at tomorrow's action as Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And then the loser of this game against Arkansas will be in the loser's bracket. Just one winner's bracket game scheduled for tomorrow. The 3-2. Good patience that time by Johnson to foul it off. 3-0 North Carolina with the lead. Pitch on the way. Lined into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit as Supa will make his trek to third. Johnson at first base. Runners at the corners with nobody out. Once again, have to give that reminder, hey, you trying to call me during the game? You're going to be unsuccessful trying to get to me, at least on the text hotline. As I know a few of you have tried to actually dial me up, but I mean, you're going to come up empty if you do, just giving you that warning out there.
Yes, sir.
We'll have time called as it appears we may have a pitching change coming up as we'll have a conference out on the mound for Georgia.
Okay, number 3 is re-entering or
Looking ahead to tomorrow as far as our game times. AAA action will get underway at 2 o'clock over on fields SB1 and 2 for Arkansas and Alabama and Louisiana and Mississippi. In fact, all of our games tomorrow scheduled for 2 and 4 o'clock. North Carolina and Florida in Ozone at 2 o'clock on field 2. And for the majors, Tennessee and South Carolina get underway at 2 o'clock. Alabama and Louisiana at 2 o'clock as well. Those are losers bracket games. And then the loser of this one against Arkansas at 4 here on field number 5. And then the winner of this game against Mississippi on field number 4. 3 of the 4 games tomorrow, losers bracket games.
okay, what do we got going on here?
So we'll have still a momentary stoppage in play as we have the home plate umpire coming over to Coach Nee over on the third base coach's box. I believe we're just about ready to get things back underway.
44 is re-entering. Does she have to?
Runners at the corners, nobody out. First pitch in the at-bat to Charlie Petty on the way.
North Carolina
inside corner fastball strike as the throw goes down to second, but they won't attempt to make the tag on the runner going over. So Jim Johnson will advance to second. 0-1 the count. Both teams will play tomorrow, as we mentioned. Both teams won their first round games as the curveball goes over the batting helmet of Charlie Petty. So 1-1 the count. We're in the top of the sixth inning. Wind and the pitch. Fastball upstairs and away. 2-1 the count. Presley delivers just low, 3-1. Had three pitchers go at it for Georgia. Pemberton got the start, did not get an out in the first inning. Then Booton did a pretty solid job in relief as a pop-up coming our way, just shy of the press box roof foul, 3-2. And Preston Presley right now on the mound, the third pitcher of the day for Georgia. Just got a text rolling in, by the way, that I'll get to from the 704 area code here in a moment. Here's the pitch. Hit hard into left field, and that will fall for a base. In any case, it's going to score a run from third, as it will be a sacrifice fly to left field. Once again, my vision, at least from the play-by-play perspective, shielded by the overhangs for the fans down the first and the third base line, but caught in left field by Hewell as a sacrifice fly to left. So that'll be an RBI, and the first out of the inning is Supa comes home to score from third. Runner still at second, by the way, in Johnson. So that makes it now 4-0 for North Carolina. As the pitch on the way. Lined into center field. That's going to fall down for a base hit, as advancing to third will be Johnson. So runners at the corners. And so we've got certainly a cast of thousands here with us in the press box.
Yes, sir.
Good job to stay in there, Jim. Amazing hit from 704 area code. And go Noah from North Carolina. So we're going to have a coaching visit for Team Georgia from Kurt Longshore, and that means we're going to have a pitching change, and we're going to take this 60-second timeout and come back after this with your new pitcher.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis Hall.
Awfully close. Kemp wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Total for
one out here in the top of the sixth inning, as North Carolina has added a run to take a 4-0 lead, and we've got the fourth pitcher of the game for the Georgia State champions. That'll be Blake Shepard coming in from first base to pitch, as he'll be the second pitcher of the inning, and as we mentioned, the fourth pitcher of the ball game for Georgia, looking to advance into the winner's bracket game for tomorrow. Winner faces Mississippi. The loser will face an elimination matchup against Arkansas tomorrow. Tomorrow, just 4 games, as we're trying to catch up on lost time from the complete washout yesterday. Another text from the 704 area code. Go North Carolina from the Ozone team from North Carolina. This is our third game today, and it's actually turned into quite a pleasant evening here in East Alabama. Checked about 30 minutes ago, and there was some shower, some rain activity over to our west around Leeds, around the eastern edge, the eastern fringes of the Birmingham metro area. So checking the radar on my iPhone here. Most of the heavier rain looks as if it's pushing off to toward the north and the east of here. So I think we can put some money on, if we're making a bet out there, that we're going to come out of this high and dry as far as the rest of this ball game. 4-0. North Carolina leading top of the sixth with runners at the corners and one out. Shepard with his first pitch, and that's a strike as the runner from first will go on in to second base. Carter Edwards with a single before the pitching change as he's now at second base. Jim Johnson still at third. Ed Anglin looking for his first hit. We're going to have time called as we're going to have a discussion over to our right with the first base umpire and the home plate umpire.
I think you're right.
David Blackwell and David Lovelace. And apparently they say that the runner at first base left early. I do get a confirmation on that, as that's going to be just like the college softball rule. You leave early from a bag and you're out.
Yeah.
So I know in college softball they have the same rule as far as a base stealer leaving early from a bag, and that's actually, at least in the college softball game, they call that an out. In this case, the runner that was at second is going to have to make the trip back to first base.
Yeah, took it away. Took away the strike. Left early, took the strike away, sent him back.
But the pitch is still
But the
pitched.
pitch counts.
So we're basically going to have a do-over here, as runners will be at the corners. So the strike's off the board. It's like the pitch didn't even happen, as runners are still at the corners. Don't ask me about how that came into play as far as bringing the runner back. I can certainly understand, but taking the strike off the board, I don't have the answer for that. The pitch on the way is swung on and missed as the runner will go to second now on the wild pitch. So basically matters took care of themselves in that case. So at least from my end, using the pin on my scorecard, I won't have to go to the handy-dandy wideout. So it's now 0-1 officially, and make that 1-1 as the curveball just misses outside. The scorekeeper's best friend with the pin in hand, also the correction pin. Thankfully, we got some of that up here by me, just in case I get a mistake, then they'd wide out that mistake on. High fly ball to left field, hit well and gone over the left center field wall.
You finally got to do it. You had to wait the whole game.
So Ed Anglin goes yard over the left center field wall to put this pretty much out of reach. As coming home from third, Johnson, from second, Edwards, and touching them all, Ed Anglin to give North Carolina the touchdown lead, now up 7-0. Well played game for North Carolina. Actually a cleanly played game as well. Defensively, from the pitching mound, and then getting the offense that they need right now, at least in this case, to put this game away. So it's 7-0, North Carolina with the lead. Bases clear for Hudson Adams, who is 0 for 2. Curveball, strike call, 0-1. So 3 RBIs for Anglin. Still one out in the inning as we're toward the bottom of the order. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 0-2. We're at the last game here in the complex for the day. And as we mentioned, we're going to get out of this high and dry. I'll certainly take temperature-wise what we've had of the last couple of days, especially today for the month of August, at least in this portion of the southeast. Right now, 83 degrees in Oxford. Curveball sweeps outside, 1-2. Sixth batter to reach to get an at-bat in this inning. As Hudson Adams trying to get his first hit. Swings and misses at the 1-2 as he'll strike out. So 2 away as Adams will finish his day 0 for 3. Andrew Newmark, 1 for 2 coming into this at-bat, has a single and has also struck out. Pitch from Shepard is grounded over to the left side at short. The field and throw in time. That'll end the inning for North Carolina offensively, but the damage is done. 4 runs in the inning, 3 of those coming on the long ball by Ed Anglin. His first home run of the weekend. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Georgia needs 7 to tie and 8 for the improbable victory. As we'll take this time out, as you are watching the DYB Majors World Series on JockJive.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leads the man at third.
Interesting coaching decision for North Carolina as starting shortstop and also the current pitcher, Tyler Nee, trying to close this one out. Now, if Tyler Nee wants to pitch tomorrow, he has to be able to get 3 outs in less than 13 pitches if he wants to be able to pitch in a possible winner's bracket game tomorrow. North Carolina needs only 3 outs. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, James Hardy with you as we'll still take a few final texts before we close out tonight's broadcast and close out of the day here at the ballpark at Chocoloco Park in Anniston, Oxford, specifically Oxford, Alabama. Foul ball back our way on the first pitch as the count goes to 0-1. Little concerned earlier in this ball game that we might get some rain. That's why they picked up the pace of the game, especially the middle innings of the game. But we're going to come out of this dry. In fact, we're going to be able to get all of the games here at the ballpark in. AAA Majors and Ozone divisions as the 0-1 strike call. 0-2 is the count. Avery Hewell, by the way, leading off for Georgia. 8, 9, and 1 spots due up for the Georgia offense. A swing and a miss, strike 3. As Hewell is able to, he'll strike out as Nee gets the strikeout on 3 pitches, 1 away. Rocky Pemberton to the plate, walked his only time up. That's back in the 3rd inning. Flies one into left field, and the play will be, let's see, no. Ball drops in left field for a base hit. Once again, almost kind of have to watch the reaction of the batter from where I'm sitting at as far as being blocked by the overhang, the roof on the third base stands. So that time Rocky Penderton is able to reach base again, and we'll call it a single with one out. Fastball upstairs for ball one for Presley. Preston Presley, 0 for 2, has popped up to short and grounded out to the pitcher. Wind in the pitch. Curveball low. 2-0. Pitch is starting to run out for Nee if he wants to be able to pitch in tomorrow's game. Pitch a strike, but the most important thing if you're Georgia is securing the W, especially when it comes to a national tournament. The 2-1 is a swing and a miss, 2-2. You can never lose sight of the big picture when it comes to the whole forest and maybe some of the trees within that forest. The 2-2. Fouled off to the right. One out, a runner over at first base. Have a strikeout and a single so far in this half inning. Pitch from Nee. Hit right side, and that's foul. 2-2 the count.
Yes, sir.
7-0, North Carolina with the lead. It was 2-0 after 1. And then North Carolina increased their lead to 3-0 after 4. And scored 4 runs, in large part due to Ed Anglin's 3-run homer in the top half of this inning. Grounder left side, a tough play as Nee throws. Good athletic play from Nee as he's able to come from the pitcher's mound, barehand the ball, and then throw to first in time. 2 away.
There he goes.
Runner to second base, and I believe that will be all for Nee as he'll have his pitching appearance come to an end, and we're going to go ahead and take the time out, and we'll tell you who our new pitcher is after this.
At the 36-yard line. Jarvis home.
Awfully close. Kemp will wave and miss. Strikeout, getting over. The Royal team leaves the man at third.
Back to action as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out away from completing this one. And by the way, I did get a question on our text hotline. I'm about to answer it from the 704 area code. The Georgia team is from LaGrange, Georgia, and we're talking just on the other side of the Georgia-Alabama border. So from where we are in Oxford, Alabama, you're probably talking maybe an hour, 20 minutes or so from here at the very most. LaGrange is pretty much just right around the Chattahoochee River between Auburn and Atlanta, Georgia. So you're certainly talking somewhere very much within this East Alabama, West Georgia region. So we got a new pitcher for North Carolina, as it'll be Matthew Supa. They'll try and close it out for North Carolina. Misses with his first pitch to Dallas Pearson, 1-0. Gets a strike call as the count goes to 1-1. I know some of our JockJive folks wondering if we have gone final yet. Almost there, so hang tight, folks. Back at our broadcast hotel here in Oxford as the count right now at 1-1. 2 outs. So you've got Dallas Pearson looking for his first hit, has been hit by a pitch as well, and has also struck out. So he's 0 for 1. Curveball inside corner as Georgia is down to their final strike. Both teams will play tomorrow. As the pitch downstairs, 2-2. The winner will face Mississippi on field number 4, while we will have the elimination game between the loser of this one and Arkansas. Fastball just high, 3-2. So you got now a runner at second base as the pitch downstairs for ball 4 is 2 runners on as Dallas Pearson reaches on a 2-out walk. Pemberton at second. Pearson now at first base for Colton Esposito that has a single and has grounded in to a 6-3 double play. Pitch. Low from Supa, 1-0.
Slow it up, buddy. Slow it up.
Still 7-0. Go Johnny Rocket from your big brother Justin. As the pitch gets away to the backstop, and that'll allow the runners to advance on the wild pitch. Pearson to second, and Pemberton to third. So North Carolina struggling, even though they're more than likely going to be able to close this one out with a 7-run lead, but a little bit sloppy trying to finish this one off.
Yeah, they did.
So we'll have another stoppage again, and we'll have the North Carolina coaching staff coming out, led by John Jeffries. Also, John Nee and Steve Newmark, the assistants, coming out. In fact, there will be a nice little powwow in front of home plate. And that'll give us a little bit of time to remind you about our Facebook page, our social media pages. Don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're trying to reach 10,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers this summer and need your help to get there. And when you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game statuses, and so much more. So go to JockJive.com and follow the shortcut to all the social media outlets, or simply put JockJive Sports in the search engine of Facebook, or at JockJive on Twitter. Swing and a miss on the 1-1 as the count goes to 1-2, and once again, Georgia down to their final strike. Supa delivers downstairs, 2-2. It's almost like North Carolina is teasing us up in the booth, but can't quite finish the deal right now. 2 outs, the 2-2. Once again, called strike 3, as that'll do it. I wasn't sure our home plate umpire that time was going to ring him up, but he did so that time. David Blackwell on the call, as that'll do it from the ballpark. Field number 5 for the DYB Majors World Series, as that will finally put a bow on tonight's action. So for Georgia, in the 6th inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, as they leave 2 on base. So your final score is North Carolina getting the touchdown victory 7-0 as they'll face Mississippi tomorrow in a winner's bracket game, while Georgia will fall to the loser's bracket and face Arkansas. So we appreciate all of you for joining us and all of your texts out there on JockJive.com in our audience. North Carolina, Mississippi tomorrow, the only winner's bracket game for tomorrow, and then Alabama and Louisiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Georgia, Arkansas will be your elimination games for tomorrow. So for all of our JockJive.com crew and all of our folks with Dixie Youth Baseball here with the City of Oxford and Chocoloco Park, James Hardy signing off, wishing you a good night from Oxford, Alabama, as you've been watching the DYB Majors World Series on JockJive.com.